And we're back on the Capitolist. It's week 2 of the Jack Latvala saga, and I have 2 experts here to talk with me about the impact on the 2018 legislative session and how that investigation is going to play out. Chris Dudley and Katie Webb, thanks for joining me once again on the show. I want to throw the question out to you guys. Jack Latvala, he's been battling this. He's been fighting the allegations. 6 women anonymously come forward in Politico. I don't need to rehash the whole story because I've already done that on this show and on the previous show. But it's a well-known story, and now the investigation has moved to a firm that's been hired by the Senate. There's a hotline phone number, and people can call it. The question really for you guys is, assuming that this investigation moves forward, a hypothetical, let's say that no one comes forward. Jack Latvala is cleared, which I think, in my own personal opinion, is a high bar, given what we already know about the case and how it's proceeding. But let's say he's hypothetically cleared of any of these allegations. Does he get his seat back? Katie, I'll throw it to you first.
Sure. So you mean the appropriations chairmanship?
Correct.
Is that right? Yes. Well, I think that what we're probably going to see is as this investigation plays out, I don't think it will be a short-term investigation. I think it'll be pretty lengthy. And
so you're already ducking my hypothetical then.
Yes, I am.
Well, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, in your hypothetical, if this is resolved within the next couple of weeks, I think what we're going to see is Chairman Bradley now really developing his expertise around the appropriations process and issues. I think you'll see him fall into a rhythm of negotiating with his House counterparts on different areas of the budget. And I think it would be very, very difficult to interrupt that and change basically the rhythm of what we would ordinarily see during the session.
Yeah. I mean, I would just add on your hypothetical specifically, I mean, I don't think he gets his chairmanship back either way.
Either way,
regardless of how this plays out.
Even if he's cleared, I'm going to redirect. I'm going to just try to put you in this very tight lane. He's cleared. Let's say it's within a month, and we've got mid-December. He has it back. He's going to ask for that chairmanship back. He's going to ask President Negron for it back. What happens? How does that play out?
Well, I mean, to Katie's point, there's no way this gets done in a month. But if it gets done, he clearly goes to Negron and says, hey, I've been cleared of all charges. I'd really like my chairmanship back. I still think that's unlikely for Negron to agree to do. I think he's put a team in place with Rob Bradley as the chairman, moving Senator Simpson into the TED budget chair. Negron and Bradley are allies. They get along well. I think Negron's going to take this as an opportunity to mentor Rob Bradley, and I think you'll see Rob Bradley be the appropriations chair for the next 3 years, including the 2 years under Galvano.
Katie, do you agree with that?
Well, I think that your point is a good point, that certainly Latvala will ask for his chairmanship back. And if he is cleared of all wrongdoing, it does seem unfair that he doesn't get that chairmanship back. But I'd stick to what I said earlier. I think you're going to see things just develop a certain rhythm. And Chairman Bradley, wanting to cooperate in whatever way, the president wants him to cooperate with, but the reorganization has already taken place, and I think to undo that would probably cause some unnecessary delays and what's already a sort of an abbreviated time frame for this year.
So you're basically saying it's like trying to change pilots in the middle of the landing procedure. Sometimes maybe if you're at high altitude and you're on autopilot, you could do it. But these guys are already coming in for a landing for the 2018 session. Right. The seats are set. It's happening. And even if in a best case scenario for Latvala, he's going to have to find another way to be effective. And I think, is it fair to say he's probably one of the few people who can find a way to do that?
Absolutely. I don't think we see him absent from the appropriations process, assuming that the investigation, shakes out the way I think he's hoping it shakes out. So I don't think we see him take a step out of it. I think he very much would be involved. I think it's just, will he actually officially be the chairman? I think that'd be really difficult to do at this point.
How does he make his presence felt, Chris?
He has always made his presence felt. I mean, he is he's a powerful senator. He knows the issues better than anybody. He knows the process better than anybody. He is engaged in every single issue. He likes the debate on the floor. He likes to be engaged in this stuff. I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with, whether he has a chairmanship or not. So,
how do they have two different styles, Bradley and Latvala. Can you walk me through what the difference is? If somebody coming in here and they want to get some legislation through, they want to get something appropriated in the budget. What might the difference be for those two, or for someone facing Latvala versus facing Bradley as the chairman?
Well, they're both very, very smart, and but I think they analyze issues in a different way. Rob Bradley is a lawyer, and I think the way, at least in my experience with him, the way that he will analyze his position on issues, it's very methodical and calculated, and very, very much what you would expect from an attorney. Latvala is not an attorney. Now, that's not to say he's not equally as thoughtful, but I think he is tends to analyze an issue and then he goes with his gut, and that's, I think, the difference between that I see.
And Bradley, he has been a budget chair before the last 2 years, but today he finds himself controlling an $85 billion budget. A lot of big areas, education, healthcare, things that he hasn't chaired in the past. I think that's a lot to learn. So I think to Katie's point, I think he's going to take a very thoughtful and educational approach to, learning issues. I don't think you get an immediate yes or no. I think he's really going to rely on staff, rely on his friend Joe Negron to kind of walk him through the landmines of what is a process that's almost entirely the opposite of the way it is working on substantive policy bills during session.
So it sounds like the seats are set. This train has left the station. It is going to be Bradley, no matter what, from what you guys are telling me, and I'll take your word for it. When we come back, I want to ask our experts about the 2018 governor's race and how Phil Levine's entry into it affects especially the Democrat side. We'll be right back to talk about that